Oh goddamn, the second part of this update got me sobbing on the damn ground. This is the first video of the new year, and I decided to make it a resolution to make a new video about every single Toa update that comes out this year. Expect more of this type of content. Also, I am working on my Toa retrospective, and I will include this update, but any update after this will not be included, mainly because, well, if I don't, it would probably piled up, and I would never get it done. I needed to have an endpoint. Alright, let's get into it. Melon Cream is finally here and is our second legendary of this game. I was a little worried for this. Given how absolutely fucking awful Wind Asparagus update was, I was worried that the next time we got a legendary, it was not going to change or get worse. But thankfully, it got a little better. Not perfect, it's definitely an improvement. They actually made Melon Cream attainable for free-to-play players. Not to mention, the quests aren't as insufferable. I am still having flashbacks of Chapter 2 Erosion Level 5. Although I am kinda sad there's no free Melon Cream stamp for the free-to-play players to get. And we all know challenge mode ain't gonna be accessible, so, yeah. They definitely changed it up, and some of the changes I do like, but some of them I don't really agree with. Like the daily quest. You do not get the currency, instead you get something else, like gems and coins, which isn't a bad thing, it's always good to have more of that, but I felt like the currency should have been added, because, well, I think players should have the opportunity to get more than just a free copy. Speaking of a free copy, we do not get a free copy of the artifact. Nothing. And crafting the artifact is already painful enough. 1,000 artifact pieces is way too much, and it doesn't even go down. I thought for Wind Asparagus artifact, it'll be like, oh, I don't know, like 500, like half the cost, but no, it's still 1,000. If there's one thing I don't like about how they handle legendary cookies is that they heavily rely on their promotion levels. In fact, a lot of cookies rely on their promotion levels to be really good. If I remember, Cream Soda isn't really good at 1 star, she's at her best when she's at 5 stars. Now imagine the legendary cookies. One thing I would love to see is that the legendary cookie unlocks all their unique abilities at a lower promotion level. Like instead of level 4, we could get it at like 3 or 2. Make it more accessible because legendary cookies are already difficult enough for free-to-play players to obtain. Oh yeah, speaking of accessibility, where's Wind Asparagus Cookie? If I remember correctly, they said that when the next legendary cookie was released, Wind Asparagus will be added into the banner. Where is she? We have another legendary cookie. Where is Wind Asparagus Cookie? I swear, if we have to wait for the next Elemental Guardian cookie to be added into this game, just for me to have the chance of getting that 1 soulstone I need to get her to 3 stars, I am going to fucking scream. Aside from that, Adventure Mode had a new chapter, and okay, I actually really love this chapter. Not only just for the story, but for its presentation. Oh yeah, spoiler warning. I will be going into this. If there's one thing I don't like about Chapter 2 of Adventure Mode is that the enemy designs were practically the same. It just felt like a recolor of most of the previous enemies from Chapter 1. It just didn't really set well with me. But this new chapter has way better enemy designs. Like, look at that! A bunch of rats! Wretch, the wretch. We're the wretch. Wait, is there a giant rat that makes all of the oh my god, there is! I love these stupid fuckers so much, they're adorable. Oh yeah, look at this guy! Man, look at this behemoth! Oh, look at this silly little guy. Oh, bro's so angry. And the boss designs are definitely a much better improvement. Especially from last chapter. No, seriously, what the fuck are these fucking orb thingies? This is the most laziest boss design I have ever seen in my fucking life. Oh, yeah, can I talk about 2 enemies that particularly piss me off? These 2? I hate these 2. I hate the blue one for how it just hides on the ground and I can't even hit it until I have to wait for it to get up. And don't get me started with it because it's the most buggiest enemy out there. But at least it isn't as annoying as these sniper motherfuckers. Oh my god. They're like the one peanut hamster enemy, except when you get near them, they're much more faster. I hate these guys. I think they all should die. Anyways, the story. Well, we actually got to see Melanchream's backstory in this, and, well, she's certainly very insane. I love you, Melon Cream Cookie. I have a love-hate relationship with her. Like, on one hand, I love her character. She's absolutely insane, but silly at the same time. But on the other hand, Abyss Raid just makes me want to tear her guts out. But Abyss Raid Season 1 is over, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. There were a few things that really did stick out to me, but let's talk about Shallot Cookie. Because man, that is definitely a first impression. And also the way that she just immediately calls Shallot a cutie. It made me raise an eyebrow. It really did. I know what you are, Melon Cream. Also, another thing that I noticed is that she was just reborn naked. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I was more surprised, if anything, but then I remember Gingerbrave is canonically naked. I actually really do like Shallot's characterization, especially in her story, which we'll get into later, but we're talking about Melon Cream right now. Let's talk about the fact that there is an animated cutscene. Huh? I was not expecting that, like holy shit. Not to mention, it actually tells us how Melanchream got her monster form, abyss form. What do you call this form? I don't know. Oh yeah, speaking of that, we actually got concept art for this thing. This one is elegant, gorgeous, refined. This one is a little too cunty. And this one's just silly. I really like it when they actually release like references or concept art for the cookies. Like we had Marbleberry and Stay Nugget. That actually really does help me as an artist to, you know, draw them more accurately. It feels great, so I was happy when we got Melon Cream. Oh yeah, let's talk about the absolute bombshell from this update. Melon Cream was the one who created the Utter Calamity / Abyss cookies. Yeah, that is fucking insane, like holy shit. And we got a sneak peek on who the next one is. And if I remember, it's Pestilence? 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 I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, this one. And oh my god. Who is this diva over here? Why did they make the embodiment of pestilence, you know, sickness, plagues, pandemics, viruses, all that stuff, so fucking cunty? Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. The next time I get my daily dose of allergies, I will remember that this cunty motherfucker exists, and I should be glad that being sick is hot. For safety reasons, I am joking. Overall, Chapter 3 of Abyss Raid is pretty cool. Oh yeah, here's a fun thing. I don't know if y'all noticed, but every single chapter has Werewolf Cookie hidden around the lobby. And it's pretty fun to find Werewolf Cookie. But this time, they just imprisoned him! And instead, we got Sunday Cookie. She's just vibing on this tree branch. That's pretty cool. Before I move on to Shallot's story, I want to notice something that has been reoccurring in Toa, and that is the use of memories. Memories has been something that has been mentioned over and over again. If I remember, it was Greenbell's update that had the first major instances of memories being utilized in the story, with her being in the labyrinth that slowly makes you lose your memories the more you're stuck in there. Yeah, that one. And I'm pretty sure they also referenced the glass labyrinth. I could be wrong. The second time it was brought up was in the epilogue of chapter 15 of story mode, where they mentioned using memory magic to create rifts. And then we got Stay Nugget's update, where the whole update revolved around the glass labyrinth, aka the labyrinth of memories. And now we have Shallot Cookie's story. Oh dear. I'm gonna get this out of the way. I am not okay. This story made me feel some type of way. Poor Karabi Cookie, holy shit. I won't go into everything since there is a lot to unpack with Shallot's story. But I am happy to report one of the long-standing questions that we have throughout this franchise has been answered. We finally get to see who's in Karabi's pendant. That friend was Shallot Cookie. It was her! And now here, this isn't the same Shallot Cookie Karabi knew. And thus, he is very bitter towards her. He just sees her as a cheap replica of the Shallot Cookie he knew, because he states that Shallot Cookie wouldn't have done the things that she's doing. But despite that bitterness, deep down, he still cares about her. Yeah, thank you, Dev Sisters, for plunging a knife in my body and twisting it over and over again. I really do appreciate that. And we also get to see why Karabi Cookie joined Melanchream's little group. It was to save Shallot Cookie, to bring her back to her normal self. Or something along those lines. Alright, Karabi Cookie, let me just put you in the list of cookies that desperately need therapy, because you're gonna be needing it. Something that I'm slowly starting to pick up is that the Guardian Cookies sacrifice something about themselves to seal the oven. And with Ground Oat Cookie, he sacrifices his memories of Shallot Cookie to seal the oven. It's never specified what happened to Shallot Cookie, but chances are she's likely dead. And then Melanchream used those memories to create the new Shallot Cookie. But it's also clear that this isn't the same one, because she has amnesia. So that's why Shallot Cookie isn't acting like her normal self. I like to mention that I find it very interesting that Shallot Cookie looks like a fighter, but she's actually a support. Which makes sense given that her costume is giving more support vibes. Because, well, back then, she wasn't a fighter. She was a healer. Also, can I say, I actually really do like Karabi and Shallot's dynamic, like, prior to Shallot, whatever happened to her. It's honestly really wholesome. And the moments here with present Shallot and Karabi, it's really bitter to see what they have become. Although the ending might say otherwise. Oh yeah, we get to see Sunday, Puppet of Oblivion again. Oh my god, she's an annoying, whimsical little shit. I love her. I love her so much. Can I talk about how similar Sunday and Shallot are? They both lost their memories and they were recreated by Melon Cream. Wait, I'm just now realizing Sunday does not know who Banana Rati is. Oh. Oh dear. Oh god, my heart. Thanks, Dev Sisters, for plunging a knife into my heart yet again. Ow, that hurts. Doesn't help at the fact that Banana Rati misses Sunday Cookie. I feel bad for her. She's like Karabi Cookie, except she hasn't turned for the worst. Other things I like in the story is how Karabi and Buttermilk interact with each other. Buttermilk is a bitch towards Karabi, and I'm not gonna lie, I kinda wanna punch him in the face for that. Don't you dare diss my boy Karabi Cookie. He is doing his best. Oh yeah, speaking of Karabi Cookie, I find it interesting that despite the fact that he works for evil, he actually has morality. He did not kill Lemon Zest when he first saw him, instead throw him into the rift. He is disgusted when Shallot Cookie uses her soul-threading abilities. Hell, even back in his own Cookie story when he causes the Scadlights to fall on Gingerbrave and the gang, he even states that wasn't like him to do such an act. It's clear that Karabi has some form of morality. He is disgusted by what he became. And you know what? If we're gonna get a Karabi redemption arc, that would be amazing. Please, I would love a Karabi redemption arc. Although, if that were to happen, then Shallot Cookie... Oh, she's cooked. Oh, this is sad. This is very sad. Okay, I think that's all I have to say for Shallot's story. Now let's talk about Abyss Raid Season 2 Electric Boogaloo. Honestly, I actually kind of like how it's presented so far. Because compared to Melon Cream Cookie, it is not as overwhelming. In the sense that there's not many parts to follow. First she does this attack, and then all the souls fell from the ceiling. And then eventually we get this attack, and then we got the saw blade phase, and then she's all the way across the other side of the map, and then eventually we repeat cycle, and then we got more saw blades, and then fireballs. You see how overwhelming it is. This is why I probably prefer a hard mode, because it doesn't really have that same structure. And this is the same case for this new boss, at least for normal mode. And then eventually we get to the froggy parkour. Oh dear god, I struggled with this! The first time, it was really embarrassing because, well, I was struggling with parkour, and when it came to this part, I didn't realize that there are platforms right there, and I was trying to get on the moving platform, and I kept dying, like an idiot. Yeah, I know, it's fucking stupid as hell. And then we get to the final phase, and it's not bad. I actually really do think that this boss is much more easier to manage. And then we get to hard mode. Oh. What is this? Oh, can I? Oh, hold up. Oh my god, what is this? Oh my god. Come on. It didn't take me very long to understand how to operate hard mode, but it heavily relies on team coordination. To everyone who has reached hard mode, please take note of the scissors. These scissors are very important to weaken the boss. And in some parts where you don't cut the threads correctly, it can actually lead to massive damage. I haven't tried Hell mode yet because, well, I do not have enough rift resistance, but I will say is that they made challenge mode much more accessible now. That surprised me. And what's even more crazy, there's already people who've beaten challenge mode. You know what? Congrats to them. I'm really excited to see what challenge mode brings this time, along with the other two game modes. Because looking at how they changed it now, it isn't as painful as it could have been. I probably am going to be using Shallot Cookie since my Wind Asparagus and Melon Cream are at 2 stars, and the only way to get them at a higher promotion is to spend money, which I'm not gonna do. Yeah, I'm kind of cooked. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this was the first time I got to witness someone wail Melon Cream Cookie. That was an experience, I'll tell you that. Overall, I really do like the story this new update has to bring. However, when in terms of some of the mechanics of the game, I do think there is some improvement. In Abyss Raid, I haven't beaten Hell mode yet, but I'll let you know how that feels later. As for whether or not I'm gonna make a video talking about Abyss Raid Season 2, probably not. Alright guys, I guess that's all I have to say. Oh wait, how could I forget about the new Guardian event? I actually really like this because, well, we got a little bit of tidbits of lore and stuff, and he's waiting for her. Staying Nugget is waiting for Rati to return. Dev Sisters, please stop plunging a knife into my back.